Hi, welcome to my channel, Reader Woman. My name's Judy, and let's talk audiobooks. Until last year, I had not really, I take that back. 2 years ago, I was on a little mini vacation with a friend, and we were driving from LA back to Washington State. And so, shockingly, we ran out of things to say to each other. And she pulled out a couple of books on CD that she had collected. And so we listened to a couple of those. And it was nice, it was okay, but it didn't lead me running to my library to get audiobooks. As part of trying to conserve my money as well as possible, I have been utilizing my public libraries through Libby, which, if you know, you know. It's a great app that allows you to check out ebooks, magazines, and also audiobooks, movies, just a huge variety of things for you to actually, have at your fingertips. That being said, my local library kind of sucks. They never have enough of a popular book, and it can take months for somewhat of a new release to be available. So, anyways, that's woo-woo-woo. But I have one of my romance authors that I really enjoy is Avery Flynn. And she had written a couple of years ago this book called Witcha Gonna Do. And it was like a little set in the world of witchery. And so I thought it'd be fun to read. And I would have to pay money via ebooks through Kindle. So I decided to visit Libby and see if it was available. But it was only available as an audiobook. So I tossed and turned about that, but I decided to go ahead and check it out. And it was very enjoyable. Not just enjoyable, but it made me look at Avery Flynn's writing in a different way, because she really was working on tempo and pace, and it was quite exciting to actually hear how she writes being said aloud. And it made me realize too how often we don't. I mean, you may, but I just typically read my Kindle, and that's about it. So actually getting to hear her book gave me a greater appreciation for her writing. Was it anything of depth? No. But if you like witches, it was fun, it was cute. I would recommend it for those who like that type of thing. The next book I came across was by Sarah Oglivie, The Dictionary People, the unsung heroes who created the Oxford English Dictionary. Now, I still have my OED from probably the 80s, where I joined Quality Paperback Book Club and Book of the Month Club under my name and a couple other names to get as many of the freebies as possible. And that was definitely one of them. I have my 2 Magnum set that comes with its own magnifying glass. And, I still love it. And I happened to see Richardson Reads on Instagram. And he had a copy of this book. And I thought, that sounded pretty interesting. So I looked at my library, and it was available. I don't remember if it was just available audiobook or not, but I decided to take it on as an audiobook. And considering my reading, you know, this particular one, I wish I'd actually read it. I think it would have internalized more of it. It was a very interesting read, although there were a couple of things I had a problem, and this was with the author, not the narrating voice. She's writing a nonfiction, and I understand she's playing to a popular audience, which of course I'm amongst. But I thought she was writing down, you know, like, oh, this particular thing is just like TikTok today, or this is just like, oh, the internet of today, or the this of today. And it was just like, you know, are 20-somethings needing that in their reading life? I don't know. And that was the only part of the book I was a little disappointed with. But otherwise, I was highly, highly entertained. And it gave me a greater appreciation for what the OED is and continues to be. So, and it's cool that it is a living, breathing entity. So, and then I was telling a friend about it. I'd just gotten done with this great book, and she was like, oh, it sounds just like a book I finished. And so when she told me about it, it's The Dictionary of Lost Words. It's a novel by Pip Williams that is a fictional account of, you know, of a young woman growing up who was, you know, even as a child playing under the table where the men were working because her mother had died. And it was a very, very sweet book, very entertaining, a nice novel. Brilliant, no, but it was nice. And as a printer, you know, offset printer for my working life, I appreciated, and in fact I know that Pip Williams has come out with, I think it's called The Bookbinder, which I've added to my list, taking a character who was working on the book printing part of the OED. And so yeah, I look forward to reading that. So yeah, it was just an interesting look at words, and also you know, a good story. The next audiobook I checked out was Robin Hobb's The Assassin's Apprentice. And it was a little overwhelming at how long the audiobook was. I had to check it out twice to get through it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book. And as I said in a previous video, I ended up buying the trilogy. And yeah, I'm a huge fan. So anyways, and how I came across the Assassin's Apprentice was Maura with Books Like Woe was talking about reading a Robin Hobb fantasy book, and I can't remember which one, and so I started looking, and I was like, well, I want to start at the beginning. So anyways, that's where I started, and this was only available via audiobook. I've discovered that if books are older via Libby, that you can only usually get, at least where I'm at, the audiobook. So, and then the next one I started, and this came to me from Steve Donahue. He was reviewing the latest Ron Chernow, and he had mentioned Washington, that he didn't think it was that good, but that he thought he was brilliant on Grant. And so I looked at checking it out. So 48 hours of audiobook. You know, I read or use the audiobooks in my car primarily. I take my dog to the dog park and then I go play mahjong once a week. I, do errands, but I have to be by myself, or me and my dog, in the car for this to actually work. And so, even so, 48 hours is a long time. So my rental for $1,000 ran out. And then I'm like, oh, well, I will put a hold on the audiobook, and then I'll put a hold on the book itself, the ebook. So right now I have both of them checked out. They don't work together via Libby. I was at the dog park because I was like, I had the audiobook and I'm like, yes, I'm going to get this thing done. But then I had to get to a place where I could find where I was at from the book back to the audiobook. So I was reading until I could get to the end of a chapter. So anyways, that was an interesting afternoon. Milo had a good time. he wasn't hurt at home quickly. So anyways, so I'm still reading Grant. Yes, it is phenomenal. I thought I knew something about Ulysses S. Grant, but I knew nothing. And it's a great book. It's one I'm going to actually have to buy a physical copy because I'm going to want to have it to remind myself, and also to perhaps look things up. And I want to see the photos. I don't think either, an audiobook isn't going to do you a damn bit of good if you want to see a photo, but I don't think ebooks do a good job at all of showing photos or maps or things like that. So I think I will be having to pick up a used copy of that down the road. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it, and haven't even made it out of the Civil War yet. So, and I started this back in 2025 or 2024, so before the new year. So anyways, it will take me quite a ways down the road. So what are you reading? Are you doing audiobooks? Let me know. Take care and keep reading, guys. Bye.